Okay, we are back. So, while we were gone, I finished cleaning up my mess. Oh, dropped you again. You know, once I get one of those little stand thingies for my phone, this will get much better, I'm sure of it. I'm sure. Anyway, I finished cleaning up my mess. Uh, got some more cooking wine. I opened up a can of cream corn to go with dinner. So, funny little story while we're waiting for the oil to heat back up. When I was a kid, my mother made mashed potatoes. Most of the time, she would either make cream corn or sweet peas with it. I didn't like either one. So, the only way I would eat my cream corn or my sweet peas was to mix it in with my mashed potatoes. Now, that has just become a way I like to eat it. So if I have mashed potatoes, I either have to have, most of the time, cream corn or sweet peas with it. And I still will get a fork full of peas and then a fork full of mashed potatoes and eat it in one bite. Delicious. That's just me. So our oil is heating up. I'm going to add the flour. Actually going to add just a tad bit more flour. Just a tad.
Inside or outside?
She's outside and I'm recording again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's my husband, Mike. Okay. Okay, can you see? No. Okay, and we are going to start whisking our flour into our oil that was left on the bottom. A little bit more flour. I think I left more oil than I thought I did. And again, I will probably end up making too much gravy, but that's okay. Yeah, my husband just said no such thing as too much gravy. It's just what I said earlier. Yeah. Way too much oil. It looks so deceiving. I swear I hardly had any in the pan until I added the flour. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, we're gonna let it cook for just a second. You want to cook out that raw flour taste. You want it to taste like gravy, not like you just stuck your hand in a flour jar and stuck it in your mouth. So now we're gonna add our milk that my husband was so gracious enough to go get. Yeah, it looks funky now, but just wait, sorry. Again, I'm new at this. It'll get better, I promise. I want you to keep watching. I have good recipes. I make really good food, y'all. And I want to share it with y'all. You know, I wanted to have a diner or a food truck. Well, that was not in the cards or the budget for me. So, ever since my kids were little, and they would have kids come over for dinner, they always loved my cooking. And I did not start out that way. That's a story for another time. But, anyway, I thought, okay, I do make good food. I am a good cook. That's one thing I can do. So I thought if I can't have a restaurant or a food truck, you know, I can share my recipes with you here and let you make your own good food for your family. I do cook a lot of Southern. I don't just cook Southern. I make a mean lasagna. I make a lot of things that hopefully we'll get to in the future. So I am starting this gravy right now. The milk is all incorporated with the flour and the oil. It does need some salt and pepper. Little salt. And I believe gravy loves pepper. So, quite a bit of pepper. Get that all stirred in. And it's going to take a few minutes for it to start getting thick. And how thick you want it, the consistency depends on you. I like kind of a thicker gravy. If you like a thinner gravy, I'll tell you when is a good time to take it off the heat and let it stop cooking. If you like a thicker gravy like I do, then we'll just keep going with it. Okay, so while that is getting thick, I'm going to finish cleaning up a little bit. Get my salt and pepper back where it's supposed to be. You know, if you're one of those, while you're cooking, and then after dinner, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to clean the kitchen. I don't want to do the dishes. It's just too much. I'm overwhelmed. Clean as you go. Whatever you use. You've got time while things are cooking to put something in the dishwasher or hand wash it real quick. You know, don't make it so hard on yourself. Do a little bit at a time. Clean as you go. Put things away when you're done with them. So while we're waiting, okay, corn's about ready. You can see the mashed potatoes are done. They are fluffy. They're not dry. They're not runny. They're not lumpy. So, oh, I need to do a taste test though. Perfect. So usually, remember I said earlier, usually when I'm making mashed potatoes, which I guess you would consider whipped potatoes, because I use a hand mixer. Well, back a long time ago when I was a kid and Mother was in the kitchen cooking and she was making mashed potatoes, you know, I remember she had one of those that had like the whiskey things on it, and you had to hand crank it like this and go all around your bowl to mash the potatoes. Anyway, yes, I'm old, okay? Don't judge me. But anyway, afterwards, she always let me like lick the beaters. And whenever I became a mom and I started making mashed potatoes, and I always used my hand mixer, that was what I did with my two girls. I took a beater out for each one with a little dollop of mashed potatoes on each one and gave it to them. And it just became a tradition. And now my grandkids, we do the same thing with. If they're over here when I'm cooking dinner and I'm making mashed potatoes, well, of course, I have almost 10 grandkids. Okay, I have 9 and 1 on the way. So it depends on who's over here. Then I have to say, okay, well, who's been the best today, or who's in the room that's closest, who gets the beaters, and they all fight over them. So that's just been one of my family traditions that I remember when I was a kid. I don't have a lot of good memories of my mother, but that's another story. But that's one tradition that she started with me that I continue to carry on. And it means a lot. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to my kids. It means a lot to my grandkids. So we'll do it forever. All right. Looky here. So just in the time we were talking, Look how thick that gravy has gotten. And yes, I actually like mine just a little bit thicker. So, as I mentioned before, if you are one that likes your gravy a little bit thinner, take it off the heat now, put it in your serving bowl. I'm going to keep mine on the stove probably for just another maybe minute or so. Not much more than that. It gets thick really quickly. I'm going to get my plate down because dinner's almost ready. My corn is done. I can turn that off. And I love having my gas stove. I don't think I've had a gas stove since I lived at my parents' house. And when we were looking at this house to buy, that was one of the first things I noticed, was that it had a gas stove. And it's just, I think you can control the temperature so much better. And I love cooking with the gas stove. Okay, my gravy is there. So, here we go. I get a chicken fried steak over here. Oh, and this is all the oil that was left over. So yes, you do take off quite a bit of oil before you make your gravy. I know my camera is all over the place, and I apologize. But again, this is my first time. I don't have everything I need to be doing these videos. It'll get better over time if you'll give me a chance. Get me some corn. Corn is one of my favorite vegetables. Love it. And notice I have it right by my potatoes, so I can mix them together whenever I take a bite. Okay. Gonna get my gravy into a bowl. Yummy, look at that. And yes, is it too much for 4 chicken fried steaks? Yeah, it is. But it's okay. I love my gravy, okay? So, just slather that chicken fried steak in that gravy. Now, even though it's covered with gravy, once I start cutting it and get through it, I'll probably come back for more because I want every bite covered in gravy. That's just me. So, anyway, let's eat. See you next time.